you have any idea about what is gender equality? Have you ever heard of this term? No. Do you know what gender is?
No.
No. Okay. No.
Do it for Mother's Day, right?
Women's Day.
Yeah, Women's Day.
Yeah. Do you know what we're going to talk about?
I do not like being a boy. It's because boys, sometimes they have to do more work,
You think so?
Yeah.
Like what kind of work?
chores, or helping cleaning, or making cutting.
You think girls don't have to do it?
Yeah, they have to, but they don't think it's hard.
They don't think it's hard.
Yeah.
Boys think it's hard.
I think moms are much better than dads because moms can take more care of babies than dads.
Okay. Why do you think dads don't take care of babies as much?
Because I think they have a lot of work to do sometimes, and so that's why they can't take care of babies that much. Because men are stronger.
Because men are stronger? Okay.
The people might think that the men get more money because they're boys and they're not girls, and so they have their own right, but at the same time I feel like they should get the most money. They should both be equal.
No, I think the paycheck should be equal, so both men and women will be attracted to the same job. Because if you're working the same as someone else, you deserve to be paid the same as that other person.
Because probably boys are more involved in it.
You think boys are more involved in it? Do you think girls won't be as involved?
I really don't know why. I think men just don't want women working with them, in certain jobs.
Because they have to take care of their child if they do bad at school.
They have to take care of the child, that's why? Okay. Women, they actually get paid less than men for the same kind of job. Why do you think that is?
Maybe because I think women work more harder than men.
Yeah, they should get paid more, right? But they get paid less. Is that fair?
No, that's not fair.
That's unfair, right?
It's when a woman goes into something like nursing or teaching, it's seen as okay, that's the right path for her. She's nurturing. That's the right field for her. But when a man goes into nursing, it's oh, what is he doing? Can he aspire? He can be a doctor, can he? And yeah, he can be, but maybe that's what he wants to go into. But it's seen as that's the wrong place. There's a woman's place and a man's place. And a woman's place is to be nurturing and do something that's simple so that she can one day take care of her kids. A man can aspire to be a CEO, and that's what people see as what is normal.
The business field is very lacking in women, for sure. I feel in terms of, STEM and things like that, a lot of women have started to gain a lot more following in that area, but in terms of the business field and things like that, we're very lacking in the women presence, for sure.
I think that a lot of times in certain jobs, for example the medical field, specifically even for me, I'm trying to be a PA, and most of the PAs are women. Whereas if you're pre-med, there's more men, and I think it's because of people think the disparity in between the education level, or they feel the work-life balance in the future, and I think that's a lot of the reasons why people think there is a a tendency for women to gravitate towards certain career choices.
The whole housewife idea is completely outdated. I feel that a lot of the domestic area where husbands and wives can come into play should be much more equal now, right? If women are trying to they want to pursue their careers and their education, then men should also deviate back and help where the women are pick up the slack where the women are leaving behind.
See, like a lot of people kind of stereotype women as more weaker because they say that we tend to be more emotional, or we can't handle stress or big things in life. So I do see that in many situations, not just in like school, but in career choices and things like that. Men and women have such unique, different strengths and talents, but instead of using those differences to kind of divide us or make one more equal, or not less equal than the other, it's important to like collaborate those differences, and so we can enhance society and the world. And those differences are what makes each gender beautiful. If you look at the US, how many times have we had women candidates, but we've never had a female president before. And it's not that a woman can't lead a country or that she doesn't have the ability to do it, it's that people think, who do I see as a president? Not a female, it's a man, it's always a man. Person would be Malala. I read her autobiography in middle school, and just hearing about the type of things that this woman has gone through, and she's not that much older than me, but the movements that she's been part of and try to educate women in her country, where women getting an education is frowned upon, and things that she's been through, and how she continues, after what she went through, she continues to fight for that. And that's where you need to start with helping women get equal education first before you can, help them get high-paying jobs and equal pay. It starts with education, and that's what she's doing, and I think that's very inspirational. Lily Singh, she is a YouTuber, and she is very, very inspiring. She started off just on the YouTube platform, but now she's an activist, and she speaks out in many different platforms. And her confidence, especially she's an Indian woman, so she's a minority too, but her confidence and her strength and the amount of change that she's brought upon the world despite being a woman is wonderful and really inspiring.
I can't think of any famous people, but my mother, for sure. Yeah, my mother is a very big inspiration for me, especially recently with a lot of stuff going on at home, and she's very, very strong. I can't imagine anyone else that I would look up to. There's a lot of ideas of female role models playing a big part for other young girls and things like that, and not a lot of, I guess, people my age or just guys in particular have a lot of female role models. But my mother is a very big role model for me. Everything that she does is almost it's just very inspirational towards me, and she's a very strong-willed person, so I get a lot of my strength from her, I feel. So yeah, my mother for sure.
I feel like when people talk about like gender inequality or feminism, they think it's all just about women being treated less equal, and they are. There's a lot of steps that women need to take in order to get up to the same level as men. But at the same time, men also have so much pressure. They're forced to be like the strong alpha, like always. They can never cry. They always have to be like superior. Like they always have to be in control. And no, they can't. They're not. They shouldn't be expected to be that way.
Each for equal.
Each for equal.
Each is for equal. I stand each for equal. Each for equal. Each for equal. Each for equal.
Each for equal.
I stand each for equal.
Each for equal.
I stand each for equal.